Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes.
This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about what happened in that case. Remember, we still owe you one. So we are definitely going to deliver what we owe. We owe. Lalela-ke bafowethu, yenzekile indaba Friday, and I know that most of you, probably some of you, were lost. But as we follow the case together, there is no way we can all be lost. Guess Tito Doctor Tina. Doctor, guess Tito Doctor. So Lali film. This is the time for a film Gutidlal. So greetings to everyone. And well, Emily is saying, hey, kunzim. Kumatata. Right? Godoge sla. Imaterial yashota nganza kwethu. Yashota imaterial kwesinye isikhathi isebenzisa kanzima. Therefore we have to make use of what we have. Njengamanje we have scraps a computer that is overheating, Emily, isn't it? Yes, I don't know what is happening. It makes some noises that only you are able to deal with. But silala skona. Ibathini? Ziko baba. Izodlala film. Yes, film yadlala. World Cup is closed. But it's Friday today. There's no way I can be down. I'm up because it's Friday. And kumnandi. Bathi molweni absheng dumelan. Bathini? Ndimatekwana. Right, Emily. I'm trying to wake you up before we start.
I'm awake.
You are awake. Welcome. Right. Let's do what we do best. You do your part, which is to press the like button. And then on our side, we will definitely deliver. Sbanda firing from all the cylinders. And I can tell you, Adoba next. Ore khumalo ayitsiba ntho ya hage bana. Kanti kuyenzakalani KZN? Why amaphoyisa? One police from KZN. Utsiba story sa hage. All these other police were found huffing and puffing. Yes, even those ones that were coming all right now and then. But there's something missing. Here comes this police from KZN. Ace it. Outstanding. Excellent. Marvelous.
An actual investigator.
Wow.
An actual detective.
He's not found wandering. The only explanation that you get. An
actual compiler of a docket. Not taking other people's dockets.
He gave the proper explanation of a cold case team.
Yes.
A proper explanation. Well, see, but I had to add something because, something not cold. Something not cold.
30-something years of experience, let me educate you. Osibanda bajayela abantu kabi yazi.
Athola nje intutshana encane izokujwayela kabi.
Athi let me educate you cabanga. I was like, oh.
No, it was that was the way of trying to get back because you failed this man.
He also failed.
An embarrassment of trying to circle something that is not there. Ibanjwe la engekho ngakhona. Uyibambe emsileni. You know, I laughed my lungs out when he was trying to circle him into murder. Only to find out that person that was caught there did not have murder but attempted murder. An embarrassment. After circling someone, you're thinking, yeah, I'm just circling him, then I will swallow. Once
there's no murder charge. And they played this duck and dive, hide and seek with the judge assisting. Someone cut the clip on Twitter, and I got reminded of all these things that used to upset me. Yes, everything that took place, they are the reason why they find themselves in this situation. So I don't understand why people feel the need that we need to feel sorry for whoever we need to feel sorry. That is not the time. Okay, they have had plenty an opportunity to just dismiss this case and save this whole humiliation that is about to take place, an embarrassment.
Ramona, God bless you. God
and
says you.
I'm enjoying the train smash.
The egg in their face.
I am enjoying it so much. I love it.
And again,
the egg on their faces.
And again, thank you, Ramsipile, for being robust when you need to.
Yes.
Thank you for not allowing that sneaky, silly, horrendous comment of Madlanga, what is happening in Madlanga.
Have you watched the Madlanga?
All of a sudden, people are watching Madlanga.
Trying to intimidate someone who might be the reason why the Madlanga Commission is even happening. Is he even aware that the PKTT's work is the reason why there's a Madlanga Commission to begin with?
He's referencing their work.
Their work. The investigators and the detectives in the PKTT.
The real investigators that we have in South Africa.
They are the reason why we are having that whole Madlanga Commission.
The real investigators that do their job. You know, I abantu abahamba bekhukha amacala ase cold.
Are they even aware of who they had in that courtroom? Or they are trying to be nonchalant? Imagine trying to educate a detective from the PKTT about how the system works. I don't think it has sunk in.
Nonsense.
Who this witness is.
Something is happening in KZN that is definitely not happening in Joburg.
Yeah, that's true.
Something is happening in KZN that is definitely not happening in Joburg.
Yes.
Clear testimony, clear.
We are happy. We have no complaints. There's nothing to complain about. But you know what's interesting?
We had no feeling. You know when a witness testified, you have no feeling, this up and down swinging mood. Oh,
being twisted.
It's sounding this time is sounding like he's speaking for the states. This time is sounding like he's speaking for the defense. No, clear. 1, 2, 3, simple. One answer.
Even the
you can ask a question 10 times, 20 times, you get one answer. Straight answer. Simple as that.
The system, how it works, there's no way it can create a duplicate case number.
Simple.
Case is the one case with one unique number. And if you need to reopen the case, you must talk to me.
Regardless of how you come left and right, you get one answer. There is no way the system, no way. Simple, no way.
I think it's you know, there's a duplicate. When did Mohani ever said that he took a duplicate? Mohani came to that court and said that he opened a case.
Pumelelo Dlamini, siyabonga. Nkulunkulu abusise. Yes, kunjalo.
He did not even say I added on a murder charge. No. He said I opened a case. I'm the one who opened this case. Mohani was ready to take ownership of that entire docket. Mohani.
Nonsense in that court that is happening. Nonsense.
The audacity to steal people's work.
At this point, someone would be visiting the cells.
Exactly. If we had a sober judge, if we had a real judge, I don't even know what to call that we had a judge, a proper judge, what
Not
would
the
be
one that
happening
believes
now?
that there is no lie that comes
People
from.
would be issued with orders for defeating the ends of justice, sitting in a court of law and disrespecting the court and lying to the court. That is what should be happening right now. But I know, not in that court. That court, they're still looking for ways that Mohani can escape accountability. Because Mohani also in the testimony kept saying Gininda has the docket. Gininda has this.
Now,
Gininda
when
has
that docket is supposed to show up in court, if, honestly speaking, we had a functioning court in that Pretoria High Court, the judge would have forced the states to
give the
reveal
defense
that
the docket that Gininda says he has of the very same case.
But that won't happen because you know what? There is no such.
In that courtroom, bye-bye.
You know what? There is no such docket. There is no such.
No, but he said it is there.
There
if it is not
no
there,
such docket.
what would a normal judge do under
There
these
is no
circumstances?
such docket. That's why
Is that not a lie?
it is a lie.
Is that
deceiving the court?
Is that not deceiving
But
the
because
court?
there is no such, we just play it down like, oh, okay, that happened. It's okay. Well, let's carry on. Like someone just farted. I mean, it's just as simple as like, oh, someone just farted. Okay, we continue with that smell. It's fine. We'll deal with it
We
as
not
time
only
goes on.
continue with the smell, we take out the spray and we try to get rid of the smell.
That's the court we are having.
We try to get rid of the smell that has been created by somebody else. For what? I don't know.
When you are sitting at home, you are going through your evidence, and I'm sure you even listen to videos. What do you think of yourself as a judge? Are you proud that you are telling people that you know English better than them?
And people are under the impression that
this thing of law, I'm sorry about this. This thing of law is not about how much you know English.
no.
It's all about, do you express yourself to such an extent that we are able to comprehend what you are saying? That's it. This thing of telling us that you know English more than other people, what kind of a judge is that? Who goes to court and tell people, I know English more than you? A simp.
I'm old. When he's losing an argument, he's like, I'm older than your father. What the hell is that?
Are we grade 1? We are competing who knows how to spell a certain word.
Sounding like a narcissistic parent. You are nobody's parent in that courtroom. You are a judge. And you must allow the legal
that old
counsel
man
to
is
execute their
disgusting.
jobs.
That old man is disgusting. Very disgusting to listen to him. It's unbearable. It's cringy. It's, I don't know, for the lack of a better word, it's nonsensical what is happening in that court.
You know, we've been so patient, so kind, so gentle, so respectful. But now I'm telling you, the hood rats of social media content creation are coming for him.
Jeez, man.
They are coming to drag him for filth. They've already started on the TT app. They've already started on TikTok. I've been seeing videos. People are dragging him for filth.
He's pretending as a messiah there. He's not a messiah. These are people's life. We are not here for your theatricals and how good you are when it comes to these things. When it comes to the fact that you find yourself having to come back, dig your heels, come back here. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. You shouldn't be here. You should be at home playing with your grandfather, your grandchild. That's it. That's it. That's it. Enjoy the moment with them. You shouldn't be in that court.
I have endured the pain, the the chest pains I would get every time he pulls these stunts that he's pulling. Now I'm enjoying the train wreck. Now I'm watching all these decisions that he's been making, entangling him.
A man is full of himself. I've never seen a judge so pompous
We
like
are
this
about to see more tantrums, I'm telling you. He's about to lose it.
I've seen the greatest of all. I've seen, in my opinion, your Mokhong. I've seen many argumentative judges.
Composed.
But they are composed. Very composed.
Composure. They're composed. You never see them sweat. You can never see a judge sweat, having heart palpitations, looking like, like he's ready to fight.
I've been saying what I've been echoing what Mcebo is saying now. Everyone that claims that is from the struggle, one day went to school and they were able to practice during those times. Those are people that were selected by the system. Those are people that were selected by the system. It selected them because they were allowing the system to do what it was doing to our people. You can come and tell us the history of how you defended black people. We don't care. We know, we see you for who you are. That's it.
Now they're getting old. The true colors are coming out.
Who you were.
Who you are deep inside. Because you refused to retire.
You were negotiating the lives of people.
We are seeing the true colors.
How the life of people should be taken. That's what you were negotiating, in my opinion.
It's unraveling. You are unraveling just before us. We are all shocked. You are unraveling. God
and you
has
come
ways
back,
of working.
You brag about it.
And then you brag about it.
What is there to brag about? If you still have your license to practice law and you claim that you were one of the best protecting our people, there is no way the system would have let you be, in my opinion. There is no way. The system let you...
All the people that were proper
yesterday,
are gone. All of them.
When we watched Mcebo, I was reminded that you were the judge who was sitting there.
Yes. Who literally...
Mcebo today cannot practice.
No.
Because of your judgment.
No. No, he can't. He
Simple
was
as
sent
that.
on an assignment to neutralize Mcebo, and he did, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
So, the reason you are fetched from wherever you are, every time there's such a situation that requires and that touches many people's heart, there's a reason for that.
South Africans.
There is a reason for that.
We need to be specific these days, because it seems like these people in high places don't give a F about us. Black South African issues are always suppressed, squashed.
And let us not only look at you, let us also look at the person who fetched you.
Yes.
From wherever you were.
Yes.
Let us look at that person also, because that person also is a problem, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm enjoying the train wreck, you guys. Now I'm enjoying the show.
We get to see people for who they are.
It used to be painful. Now it's no longer painful, because the time has come.
We get to see people for who they are. And the problem that we have been complaining about, and there is another part of this that I want to raise. But I don't know how to raise it without offending other people. But the truth is, we've been saying this. There are other brothers that come from other countries that come here to work, but they are a vessel of crime that is happening in South Africa. and you claim that you love us. There's something wrong with that. You
That has
cannot
been
allow yourself to be
painful
used as a
revelation.
vessel of rendering crime in South Africa and also making South African feel pain.
Extreme pain.
There is no way. Then you claim that, we are brothers. How can we smile at you if you do that? How can we smile at you when we see you? When you know for sure you are a vessel of the pain that we go through in South Africa. And you claim that, we are together. Sisonke.
Helping the oppressor. Assisting them.
They chose you because they know you don't have a choice. And we've been saying that.
Yeah.
And they will always use you. They will always use you. There's a reason why, if the situation is very difficult for certain people, they sit it. They don't stand up. Right?
Yes.
They allow a certain person. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. It's a combination of people who are liked by the system in that court. It's a combination of people who are liked by the system. And that is not a mistake. You don't just get comments such as flexible, what, and what not from these people for nothing. They're battering you. They're battering you. We have seen it. I mean, all the leaders that were touched on the shoulders and whatnot, we know who they are. It's disgusting.
Abanye bandiza all the way to London.
It's very disgusting to watch.
It is.
So we must talk about these things.
We need to talk about them. They
It's a
must
very
be on the table so that we understand what we are dealing with. For many years, I didn't understand what's going on. Many years. I couldn't see properly.
Our brothers are in jail. Some of them they didn't even lift a finger. Let us be honest. You sit down, you watch Ntanzi. In my opinion, he didn't even lift a finger when it comes to crime. Even people who talk around him, they'll tell you, this guy was
shocked.
just a quiet person who
Everybody's
focuses in
shocked.
Ngomeni.
Everybody's shocked.
But today, he's got cases that are investigated and that are classified.
Not only that, they're trying to criminalize him. They're criminalizing him. They're working overtime.
The line of questioning.
To criminalize
the line of
him.
questioning. So when people were creating this case, in my opinion, they watched, they looked at that thing. They didn't even have information of this docket.
No.
That's why they're calling murder where there's no murder.
They didn't have the information. They look for one sentence.
So the issue of guns, selling guns, it comes from that docket.
Yes, the charge sheet. Notice of rights, where the suspect is saying, I bought this firearm somewhere in Gauteng for 1,800 rand. They're like, based off of this, we can make Ntanzi the person who sold the gun.
Tell me how
Kabang.
is Ntanzi linked to that?
Sure. Sizoboshwa sonke at
Tell
this
me
rate.
how is Ntanzi linked to that?
What the hell?
Where does it say in that thingy Ntanzi actually did 1, 2, 3? Where does it say? It
No
doesn't.
way. There's not even a single statement that puts Ntanzi's name in that mess.
And then you tell me that we have people who are investigating. It's investigation. And you have a judge that is always, in my opinion, trying to polish.
uNtanzi bekayisebenzele emine eyihlalele erumini lakhe.
You ruined his life. They ruined his life. They messed his life up.
So when they were busy telling TT that give me Ntanzi, that was the plan all along, to make him an arms dealer. to make him a weapon, a firearm dealer.
But how? Look at how stupid this whole thing is. If Ntanzi confessed, if he confessed to Senzo, he does not confess into dealer. Even themselves, when they are creating this thing, they forget to put some of these things to actually align.
No, I get the dealer situation comes later now, when they are struggling to pin him to Senzo's case. That's when they're like, no, we're not finding any dirt on Ntanzi. What must we do? We must create
No, it didn't.
the dirt.
I don't think it came late. I think they saw the docket when they were building this whole thing.
And then they were just looking for a victim.
Yeah.
And then Ntanzi happened to be the victim that fits whatever they wanted.
And
but
the
how?
funny thing is, Ntanzi never stayed in Joburg. That's how stupid this thing is. Ntanzi was in Rustenburg. He has never been in Joburg. He doesn't know Joburg. In his testimony, he doesn't even know Joburg. He goes to Joburg to do Zulu things. He never stayed in Joburg.
Kodwa bamhlalisa ngemlomo yabo. They're making him reside there. Ngemlomo, he was taken to hostel. So if people can sit in that court and lie on such little things. And you know what has been very, very profound? Ntanzi's version, spot on. His story has been consistent ever since this trial began. And every information that the court has to move forward is coming from him. It's coming from Sbi. Only 2 people. Accused number 3 is not yet on the stand. I saw Sibanda trying it.
Because they want to know how they can pin him.
Trying to put the case of accused number 3 before they are done with the accused number 2. So now I'm like, yes, Ntanzi has been consistent. His story has not changed. He has been consistent. Every information or piece of information in that court has been coming from Ntanzi. A lot of it. That makes them go and dig up stuff and then come back and be like, yeah, we've got OBs or we've got this or we've got that. It's not forthcoming from the state. That information has been coming from Ntanzi himself. With little, he had no resources. He didn't even have a pen to write down and document what was happening at the time. Everything is recalling it from his memory. From your AVLs to the OBs. This has turned...
Not only are they trying to get Ntanzi jailed, they are also in a process trying to get him killed. They are linking him with the Marikana situation. These people, when they cook in such a way that they cover a lot of cases that they couldn't cover. They want to arrest one person. They want to kill
one bed, many beds with one stone. They want to get everybody they've got.
No evidence that has been led that says Ntanzi actually was involved with whatever boss of Marikana that was killed. No evidence. No. It's a word of mouth. Someone is just painting Ntanzi like that.
And they are putting his life in danger on top of that.
Because there are people out there who would believe that.
Yes. With covering this case, we've seen how many people out there are reasoning capacity as fun. So it happens that Omunye literally takes this seriously and says, Ntanzi killed my whatever, my uncle or my brother or whatever. Putting his life in danger. Over what? Unsubstantiated lies.
It's crazy, man.
We must sugarcoat that. Mshololo is right. Mshololo did nothing wrong. He's trying to protect the evidence. He's been doing it. He's a judge. He's been doing this. This thing.
That's why I hate
that now catches up with them of this docket of Nongoma 163. Mngome Zulu raised it. He raised it and they just They just let it slide. It's just.
And they said it was classified information.
Had they just dismissed this case from that time, Ngome Zulu raised it, came with that data thing from the system.
Now, do you see why the cases in South Africa, they are not readily available?
Yeah. So cover up. I've heard a lot of people who are appealing. When they're looking for their transcripts are gone. Tabo Best is an example. There's also this other show I used to watch where the criminals or the people that have been accused of crimes they didn't commit.
Was meant for white monopoly capital. The system. This system was meant for people who can pay their way in and out.
In and out. That's why criminals are thriving in this country.
Yes. Because obviously when you do crime, you probably would have money.
To pay. To pay for things to disappear. To pay for things to not be available.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy what is happening. But we get to realize what country we have. What we call a country.
And please fight for the transcripts. If you have a court case or a litigation, or make sure you get those transcripts.
It's easy to say.
I know.
But it's the system.
Or at least your lawyer has them. Make sure that he really does, or they have those transcripts, so that at the time you need them, you know where to go. But those transcripts are very important. I'm now seeing it as I'm looking at Senzo's case. If it was not recorded, ngabe kudala bakwethu untanzi. Ngabe kudala.
The man is itching.
He's itching. He just wants to throw them in jail.
But he must throw them in jail knowing that we are seeing, we are watching.
We are looking.
We are just behind and checking
observing
exactly how this so-called law
works.
How can a judge ask how Mohane knew about Buthelezi? What kind of a judge is that? Is that how you reason every day? Like you just pick up those things. You're like, oh yeah, how do you know Buthelezi? Man.
Khathele mina lo baba lo makaqede lento yakhe le. I'm sure he's tired. He must just wrap it up. Actually, he should dismiss this case, but he doesn't want to do that. So I don't know what his plan is going to be, because clearly the state has no case against these people. There's no case against these people. Let those who are serving sentences for the crimes that were properly investigated
go back to serve
their sentences.
And stop the bleeding of money, of our tax money. Stop that thing.
Can you imagine how much money has been spent?
It's a lot. It's a lot. In a case that is just a mess like this.
Every attempt by the defense, that judge has dismissed it. Every attempt.
Even when the things are just in his face, he will choose to ask, how does Buthelezi know, Mohane know Buthelezi? What kind of a question is that?
Now he's having, episodes now. He's, he looks stressed. He's the one who brought himself to the situation. He's feeling cornered. He's the one who cornered himself by refusing to be decisive, refusing to do what a normal judge would do. Because I honestly don't know what type of judge he is. I don't. But a normal judge.
Well, we know what type of a judge he is, but we won't say. I think that's a correct way.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let me go through the proceedings. They were quite long. I struggled. I struggled to go through them. But Mr. Anonymous, you'll bear with me. Let us start. So Mshololo continued with the evidence in chief of Colonel Khumalo from the PKTT in KwaZulu-Natal. And the judge said to the witness, I'm sure you are shocked. He's saying he's sure he's shocked because of what Mshololo said and did and what was happening, the back and forth between the judge and Mshololo.
Why would you be shocked? The guy's working with PKTT. He has seen it all.
Well, Mshololo said, Lieutenant Colonel, we are going to proceed from where we ended yesterday. And please, as
he was basically trying to get Mshololo to apologize.
Never. Don't you do that, Mshololo.
He was basically trying to say,
we have reached a point where that is no longer
please
necessary.
Remember that you need to apologize. For what?
For what? She's
For
not wrong.
what?
You fabricated the case, Umugani. It doesn't exist.
For what?
That is not a lie. It's a fact. It doesn't exist. How? Why must we sugarcoat? Gunini is sugarcoater. 4 years of sugarcoating. Kabanga. Sure. Skatele. And then Mshololo said, I'm going to ask you to tell the truth and nothing else but the truth without compromising the truth and without any fear. This is Mshololo assuring the witness. Something that should be done by the judge to say, feel very comfortable, be free. You know how Mahlanga does. Feel free, feel free, share your side, feel free, feel comfortable, That's what a normal judge does. But in this instance, Mshololo has to assure the witness that no, continue putting the truth forward. Do not be distracted. Mshololo also read Mokhani's testimony where he said, and I quote, on our arrival, we knocked on a room which we had seen during the day when Tanzi is supposed to stay. We informed him that we are the police, and then he opened the door. When we got inside, we found that he's a suspect in a case of murder in Nongoma, where also a gun was found. And this was under evidence in chief with Baloi of Mokhani. And then Mshololo said, then you testified yesterday as to how a firearm was recovered in this case. Was it found from Bongani Ntanzi? Then Colonel Khumalo said, no, it was not found on Ntanzi. It was found on Niselani Buthelezi. Mshololo continued reading, and it read, since we were already aware that it is him, since our informer had given us information about him, then I asked him what he knows about the Nongoma case 163, given information about him. Then I asked him what he knows about the Nongoma case. And then Mr. Ntanzi was asked if he knew anything about the Nongoma case wherein he was not a suspect, according to your evidence. Well, Khumalo said, Ntanzi was not a suspect in my case. The suspect there who was arrested was Mr. Qiniselani Makhimba Buthelezi.
Yeah. Stalitora Media. Thank you very much. God bless you. And again, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Star.
Stalitora Media.
Thank you.
I hope I'm presenting well your media. Thank you. May it grow.
Yes, may your channel grow and prosper.
So, from here, what Mshololo is asking is important, because we are saying it's still not clear how you get to go to Ntanzi and arrest him for this.
It's not.
It's not. But you know why they don't want to reveal this token?
Why?
Because it might come and the docket might come with a certain statement written by someone who probably passed away, because this is how this case is.
Allegedly, he's no more.
So just
Besebati, no, Mgomezulu is the one who solicited it. Is it solicited?
they have no shame. These people, they have no shame. They will continue doing what they are doing. It's business as usual, and they will use you, dead or alive, preferably, in my
Preferably
opinion.
no more. Yes, preferably when you are dead, you become useful to them, in my opinion. You know, we have been through it. You know, when I see this now, I'm like, yes, sis, we've been through this case. These things that we have seen, they have shocked us. Sisathukile namanje ukuthi kanti ecourt kunje. Well, Mshololo said we first told him that we are arresting him regarding the Nongoma case first. We told him that he has the right to remain silent. So my question to you is that Mohani told accused number 2 that he was arresting him regarding the Nongoma case wherein Mr. Ntanzi is not a suspect according to the record of the SAPS that you've testified about in this court. Khumalo said yes, he was not a suspect, specifically in my case 16310 of 2018. Mshololo said, so now we know.
Oh, Star Aura Media.
Star Aura Media.
Starlit Aura Media. Sorry,
Starlit
Aura
Media.
Yes, it's combined.
Starlit Aura
Yeah, it's
Media.
combined. Thank you very much. Cassandra, thank you. Right. Continue, I mean.
Msholo says, so now we know how Mr. Ntanzi was arrested. He was arrested under a case number that doesn't exist as per the evidence of Sergeant Mohani. And let's now move on to the notice of rights. 2nd of November 2023 is the record of Mohani reading the occurrence book entry into the record. Now Mohani is confirming that an SAP 14 was issued to Bongani Ntanzi. So the notice of rights was also issued under the case number wherein Mr. Bongani Ntanzi was not a suspect in respect of the SAPS records. I like how Mshodolo was asking. Very direct, very much to the point, to the T. The fact that you are getting arrested on a case where you are not a suspect.
And then all of a sudden you confessed
to another case, another crime, while you were being held captive. Okay. And still it's not a forced confession according to the judge. It's admissible. All right. And Khumalo said, that's correct, my lord. And then Shololo said, would I be correct in my understanding to say that Mr. Ntanzi was detained under the Nongoma case, 16310 of 2018, wherein he was not a suspect, according to the records of the SAPS? And Khumalo said, yes, the case in which he was detained with, he was not a suspect in that case of 16310 of 2018. Shololo took the witness to another OB entry of the 17th of June 2020, and he read it 1655, one suspect to Nongoma case 16310 of 2018. Well, it was supposed to say 2018, but he wrote 2020, Mohani, for a case he was investigating.
Yeah, it was almost changing, you know. These things were almost changing.
Yeah, but
163 was 166, eh?
Yes, at
yeah,
some
it was
point,
almost changing.
They were getting new numbers. So now it's 2020, no longer 2018. Bongani Ntanzi cell number, SAP 14 without injuries received correctly, IO signed by Mohani. Khumalo said that it means that the person who booked him out, he took him out for investigations or maybe for following certain information together with the suspect.
Zozo Mahlangu, thank you. Shingi, thank you very much. Shingi Kahungwa, thank you. God bless you guys.
Thank you guys, we really appreciate
it. And AMP 679, thank you. God bless you. Sibonga kakhulu.
So for this Nongoma cases, they were busy. Mokhane is writing Noma Ben, writing in and out, detained in correctly without any injuries. They got him 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. 20th is when they decide, oh, let's go back to Pukeng and get the black plastic bag of ammunition.
Exactly. You know why? This is a sign that there was no case. So something new had to reappear. Because why on earth would you be holding a person for a case that doesn't exist? This proves that not only on record that this case was not there, it just doesn't exist.
And then on top of that, they are asking him about
what were they doing in
Senzo's
Pukeng?
case.
What were they doing in Pukeng when they found the plastic? What was an explanation?
They said they went back to look for the hoodie on the
This
ID
is crazy
kit.
because you arrested this person for 163.
Yes.
What hood are you looking
At no
for?
point did you go to Nongoma. Nongoma was too far.
What hood were you looking for? Because you arrested this person for Lokuzan, for what do we call it?
For murder, Nongoma.
For murder. What hood were you looking for then?
They were supposed to take him to Nongoma as soon as they could. Right? He must have made a court appearance within 48 hours. Is it 48 hours or what? He didn't make that court appearance. So what does that say? It says he was kidnapped.
Yes.
And forced to make a confession.
Yes.
That's what it says.
Under circumstances, when someone keeps you without even beating you, keeps you in a cell,
Yes.
eventually you'll conform.
Yes.
That is part of
You are being trained and
it's
programmed
part of assault.
to believe
It's part of
that you are guilty.
emotional abuse.
Yes. And traumatizing. They traumatized him. By the time they were doing all those things with Kronye, he was exhausted.
It's like it's a daylight. It shows. Let us forget about the beating. Why did you have to keep him in the cells with a case that doesn't exist? Because you wanted him to conform to whatever you were doing.
Yes. So they put the illegal substance one flop. It flopped there by the Fosloras court. They were like dismissed. And then they're like, what's next? Black plastic bag. Let's go back with him to his place and find something. What diabolical nonsense is this? People are not wanting to investigate.
No.
They don't want to investigate.
No.
They just want to hold people hostage and make them confess. What is going on with these people? This is traumatic. When you recount what happened to Daddy, it's traumatic. He didn't stand a chance. And then that's not enough. Now there's another anguish of an ongoing case that refuses to end or come to some form of a conclusion. The judge is not making decisions. He's not being decisive. He's not making rulings. He's leaving everything hanging so that the state has more time to do whatever. That's not fair. This trial in itself is not fair. It's not fair.
I've never seen a craziest trial in my world.
This
in
is
my
crazy.
in my life.
This is crazy. So people are like, oh, Mshololo, it's not emotional. She's emotional. No, she's reached a point where she has realized that a spade is a spade. This thing of beating about the bush is the reason why this trial has taken so long to begin with. Because the judge
you
is
are busy
refusing for people to put facts.
You are busy fighting a judge who keeps on changing the goalpost.
Yes.
When you try to shoot there, when you are cornered, and then all of a sudden the goalpost has shifted to the north. When you try to shoot to north, all of a sudden the goalpost has shifted to... I mean, how are you going to win?
It's like they all want these lawyers to retire, basically, for their time to their years to go by without them attending to other cases, just this case alone that refuses to go anywhere.
And then you're saying, I'm supposed to be what do you call it? To
Composed.
be composed.
I must not be emotional. I must be a
When think about yourself.
Intelligence.
When
That judge
think
is
about
also
yourself.
not composed.
Where you are working, you work maybe on a certain Excel
for a long time.
a week. When you finish that work, I crash that Excel. You have to start
do it
afresh. How are you gonna feel? And I keep on
Frustrated.
doing that all the time. When you're about to reach the touchline, I sabotage you. How are you gonna feel?
We just talk about the case, but we are also tired.
Yes.
We are also tired.
Yes.
So can you imagine Bomshololo bo Ramasipili
When the head does not have blood evidence that links these people, it's neutral.
Inconclusive.
The judge comes and says, it's neutral. They never said it exclude them. How? When? Allegedly. Sorry.
What the hell is going on?
Allegedly.
What the hell? It doesn't. It refuses to end. It refuses to go somewhere, to a destination. And the driver, the judge in this incident, decides, we are not gonna stop. We are going to keep driving.
An
going
expert comes in.
in
We
the
are
middle
told.
of nowhere.
We are told this is an expert. The expert evidence is totally different. You don't have to argue against it. Okay, we all say, oh, right, that's the case. Then expert comes and tell us about the DNA.
Yes.
And then we are told that there's fingerprints and all that. There's a way of fingerprints and this is how 7, what. If it's not 7, it changes. Then after that discussion, the issue of a head, it was no longer excluding all. It was now inconclusive. Yabo? How? We don't argue with an expert. Okay, sithi salindele lokho. Kufika udokotela lapha udokotela owenza i-autopsy ne awachaza expect evidence, you don't even argue with it, you let the witness flow.
Lapho ethi this kind of hole,
when he was talking about the hole, the kind of a hole,
the kind of bullet hole, according to my expertise. Remember, this is a pathologist. He works with this kind of, wounds on a regular basis. So he definitely knows what kind of gun did the damage.
Yes, and then we were told, hi, you are not an expert. Leave that.
Cannot. He's asking the witness to speculate.
How
can an expert witness speculate?
A doctor who's supposed to focus on teeth came and did the whole body.
There were no injuries.
What and all that. It was okay. He's an expert. How?
This person only looked at my mouth. He looked at my mouth. No, if this person had any kind of injuries, there would be lacerations on the insides of their mouth. Kanjan man. Kanjan.
Sathula
Dentist.
Sathula.
Sasayibamba.
Kufika ama-expect amanye athi azosiza aphikiswe.
Yeah.
Kwafika amaphoyisa, police. The experts, the seniors for the states.
Yes.
We were told, no, don't argue with this one. Let him speak.
Let him speak.
When we bring our own our own seasoned police, when we bring our own seasoned police, people are frowning. Yematot. Hi, bo.
Did you see how he was looking at Colonel Khumalo?
Hi, bo. Naku igulubi nona. Hi, bo. He gets excited. A small thing that seems to be going to stage. He smiles. He smiles.
When
You'll be surprised. That face can smile.
kept hitting brick walls.
When things are going left
He would
for
look
the
excited
state,
and be like,
When things are going left for the state, you start hearing hymns. Bam, 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 bam,
And
bam,
then,
bam, 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 bam. Hi, bo. Sikuphi kahle?
Sine trauma.
No, this guy has traumatized us.
He has traumatized
Oh, he has
us.
traumatized us.
Yo, he has traumatized us, guys.
Hi, bo.
Angiyazi mina lento.
Hi, bo. Hi, bo. Hi, bo.
You know the respect we have for judges in this country. We respect judges. Kodwa lento eyenzakale Pretoria High Court hayikhona. Sekwanele manje. Enough is enough. And you know what's the worst thing? The family, the Meyiwa family, they're being tormented at this rate.
Yes.
He has no mercy. He doesn't care. That family is going through it, watching him do what he's doing.
When we are discussing the cell phone, he saw it. Hi,
It
bo.
was here in court.
Hi, bo.
Kanjani manje?
Wey, bo. Hayi. Sisathule. Nansi lokhuzani AVL comes. AVL is blocking all the places that Ntanzi was talking about all of a sudden. We are told that a little small bridge, a mere bridge for people to walk, not even a car, can
Pedestrian
actually
bridge.
block the signal.
Yes.
Who comes up with that? The judge. Hayi bo. Sithi salalele evidence kaZungu ethi kwacisha ikhandlela. Kwacisha ikhandlela. Ishintshe.
She light.
Ithi ithi kwacisha ilight. Ishintshe. Ithi judge.
Bacisha ilight.
Bacisha. Hayi bo. Igcini evidence ishintshe kanjalo ke kube ileyo nto kenjalo ke. Mina ngutshela ngento ngahamba. You can go and check it on record. We have like history of, in my opinion, of this judge intervening in a negative way for the defense.
Most definitely.
In a negative way. You know,
In the
I
state.
can literally go and appeal this case for them without maybe even knowing law. Just by giving these things.
Documenting every time he's interfered with evidence.
Then we are
and
told.
when Shololo says, let us not, what did she say? Let us not change the evidence. Let us not change he gets upset. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Then he gets to be told that he's older than his father. That the father that he doesn't even know. He has never met him, but he's older than him. Because he's superior. Everything must be superior. Even your age must be superior than others.
He's an umpire.
Yeah. You're a demigod, a mini one. A walking one. After Jesus, then there was you.
Then it's him, yes. Mshololo then said, will I be correct to say that it means on the 17th of June 2020 at 16:55, Mr. Ntanzi was booked out for further investigation by Sergeant Mohani, and he was booked under the Nongoma case that wherein Mr. Ntanzi was never a suspect. And Khumalo said that's correct. Mshororo went back to Mohani's testimony of the 2nd of November 2023. And she read, on arrival in the boardroom, we sat down and then we asked him about this Nongoma case. So it means Mr. Ntanzi was taken to a boardroom and he was asked about a case in which he was not a suspect according to the system of the SAPS. And Khumalo said that's correct. Then Mshororo said, you have testified about the arrest of the detention of Mr. Ntanzi and the interview. Let's move on now to the charging of the suspect. What do you understand? What is it that involves or is involved when a person is being charged? A suspect is being charged. He has been arrested. He has been detained, but we are now moving to the charge or the charging of the suspect. And Khumalo said, so if one is charging a suspect, you need to have a docket. and then again explain to him or her, I'm going to charge you on this docket because the evidence contained here is directly pointing to you. And then you again explain to him his or her rights regarding being represented before, one has to have or obtain a warning statement. So he's telling him all the steps that Mohani did not do regarding this Nongoma case. First of all, he did not show Ntanzi or present any docket whatsoever. If he's going to say that he questioned him on the Nongoma case, of which I don't believe, because everything that has been documented is Senzo. Even them, they testified only about the investigation into Senzo's matter. So if you're going to say you questioned him on Nongoma, then where's the Nongoma docket that you were questioning him based off of? And why didn't you go to Nongoma?
Why didn't you talk to an IO
to
about
the IO
that?
Of the case that you were
about taking? The new developments that you have found?
Why were you not having any conversations with the IO of that particular docket that you were taking over? So the judge said, sorry, is it not correct that it is the prosecutor who charges him? This is the kind of shenanigans we're talking about. A defense attorney is at work here. She's working. She asks a very important docket. When you charge a suspect, what happens? A very important question. And then the judge comes in and said, is it correct to say that you are the one who charges? The prosecutor is the one who does the charging. What is the point of all of that?
No, the police charge you.
But he's saying it's the prosecutor.
No.
The prosecutor is the one who sits with the suspect and charges
They
him.
charge you. Why would they hold you in a cell if they haven't charged you?
Listen to the madness. He said, sorry, is it not correct that it is the prosecutor who charges him, not a policeman? I know we talk loosely. I will charge you, referring to the police. Mohani was sitting there saying the exact same thing. It was not a problem because it's been said by the state. Mohani said, I charged him. That's what Mohani said. I charged the suspect. It wasn't an issue then. It only becomes an issue when Khumalo is saying, this is how we charge a suspect. And then Khumalo said, my lord, before one appears before court, he needs to be charged at the police station.
Exactly.
And then the judge said, okay, fine, but I'm saying who charges actually? And Khumalo laughed in discomfort because why is the judge making it seem like a prosecutor is the one handing that charge sheet to the prosecutor and making him or her sign it? Okay, that was very odd. He said, but we normally charge him and then we take him to the court and the prosecutor and the court will go through the docket. And then the judge said, I thought it's the prosecutor who signs the indictment, not a police person. Is that not so?
The prosecutor, they formally prosecute and proceed with the criminal charges. That's what they do. That's what they do.
They may also contribute to the layout of the charge sheet. Before they hand over the docket to the court, they sign the charge sheet to say, I've received it.
The only thing the prosecutor does is to sign and say,
I've received
the evidence is sufficient, then go and charge the person.
Yes.
Still, the person who charges
is the police officer.
The police.
They are the ones who you sit with when you are getting charged. You are charged by them. You're not charged by the prosecutor. The prosecutor is responsible for the document. Why does he like doing this? These are the kind of shenanigans. And then he blames the public when the public is saying, Mara, this judge can't do njani. He blames. People are not supposed to say anything about this type of conduct. Stole. Then there was a bit of a silence and the judge said, never mind. Then he said, yes. Those are the kind of stuff we're talking about. Then Khumalo said, I do understand, my lord, but since the suspect is booked out for investigation and taken to the boardroom, and they further were interviewed, or he was interviewed, so if you take him back to the cells, you crossing that entry that you booked him, that the suspect is booked back and he's formally charged on this case number that you booked him out, and that will be, you are going to put at page 5 of the docket that this person has been formally charged. And then you take the docket straight to court to the prosecutor. That's when the prosecutor signs it to say, I've received everything, like Mr. Anonymous was saying. I've received everything, I've received all the information, and I have no problem with the docket. I'm ready to proceed and take this matter to court. Well, the judge said, who signs the indictment? And Khumalo said, it's the prosecutor, my lord. And then the judge, that's it. That's charging a person. Actually, I know we speak loosely. Charge. And then he did not, I'm just baffled, guys. The judge said, actually, when you're charged.
Let's say the prosecutor signs that indictment, and then it doesn't go to get to the person that needs to be charged. What will happen? Is that person charged or not?
They're not.
They're not.
They're not charged. Well, the judge said, actually, when you are charged is when they put the charge to you in court and you ask to plead. That completes the charging.
Completes the charging. Thank you. You are even saying it completes the charging.
Well, Mshololo said, thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Please don't be distracted. I'm asking this from you as an experienced police officer. The process explained by a police officer, what does it involve? Forget about the prosecutor. I'm asking you about the role that is played by the member of the SAPS that is handling a suspect.
Thank you, Mshololo, for those comments.
And then Khumalo said, that means, my lord, that the suspect is ready to be taken to court to appear on the case for which he is charged for. And Mshololo also said, so after charging the suspect, you then record on page 5 of the docket. Who then records on page 5 of the docket that a suspect has now been charged? Is it the police officer or the prosecutor? And Khumalo said it's the police officer who is charging the suspect.
Thank you.
Is the prosecutor allowed to make entries in that docket to say that I have charged the suspect? And Khumalo said, from my experience, I never saw it.
Campaigning and just mopping with the judges, because it's just silly questions.
Then Mshololo said, from the experience in the SAPS service, can the suspect be taken to court for appearance without being charged by a member of the SAPS and wait for the prosecutor to charge the person? Well, Khumalo said, no, my lord. Mshololo continued reading Mokhani's evidence, and it said suspect charged. It's Mr. Mokhani testifying in court. He said, suspect charged. What does that mean? And Khumalo said, so it means he has prepared his accused to be ready to be taken to court and appear in court on that particular charge. So this docket is very funny. Kuza ama charge sheet akamkhani. Kuze ama testimony ka Simpiwe, who is no longer among, But the docket in its entirety, I'm even shocked that the defense doesn't have it. I thought when Mgomezulu was siphoning that Simpiwe Buthelezi statement that they are in possession of that docket. Turns out they don't have it. Isn't that interesting?
They call it classified information.
So what this means is that the state was setting booby traps, leaving pieces and pieces just so the defense is tempted to use the information. And then they're like, gotcha. This can help us strengthen our case. That is the kind of genius they are saying that flexible prosecutors have. Well, Mshololo said, Lieutenant, Colonel, this is where in the records of the SAPS system, it appears that Sergeant Mokhani charged the suspect, which is Mr. Ntanzi, under this case number and recorded it in the docket as you've explained the procedure before the court. And Khumalo said, on the record of the SAPS system, there's no person by the name of Mr. Ntanzi that was charged. And also on the docket, I don't have a male person by the name of Bongani Ntanzi that was charged in Nongoma case 16310 of 2018. And then Mshololo said, and you said the investigating officer of this case would then record in the docket that the person has been charged on this particular date. And Khumalo said, that's correct. And Mshololo said, so there is no date that is recorded or reflected in the police docket in front of you saying that Bongani Ntanzi was charged under this case as a suspect. Khumalo said, not at all. Mshololo went to another OB entry, which is 532. This is an entry that was made on the 19th of June 2020 at 2:35. Suspect charged by Detective Mohan of the National Cold Case Unit charged one male suspect of murder on the Nongoma case 16310 of 2018. Bongani Ntanzi, SAP 14, charged correctly without complaints or visible injuries, correctly charged. Mshololo said, am I correct to say from my understanding of that entry that you've just read into record, the entry says Mr. Ntanzi was charged under the Nongoma case wherein Mr. Ntanzi was not a suspect. Khumalo said, yes, he was not a suspect. Mshololo went back to the transcript now, and it says under Mohani, there is also another entry on that very same Friday, 2020, 6 of 2019, serial number 534 at 4:50. Prisoner transferred, Detective Sergeant Mohani of National Cold Case Unit with one male suspect, murder 16010 of 2018. The case, one Bongani Ntanzi was fetched to Foslorus court without any injuries or complaints. So now it means that the suspect is booked out to court. So the suspect was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 under the Nongoma case number that does not exist in the SAPS, and he's now taken on the 19th, which is 3 days to court. He is booked out to court now. He's still booked in the Nongoma case number that does not exist as the case number for a murder. You know, I love how Mshololo was just emphasizing the non-existence of this murder case, 16310 of 2018. She was putting it clearly on the record that it doesn't exist. And Khumalo said, that's correct. I'm still following. He was not the suspect. Mshololo said, we know that this case was not enrolled, but I'm not there. My question to you is that, do you remember there's an entry that we've referred you wherein the suspect was booked in transito? Do you have any docket or any entry in the docket reflecting that the suspect by the name Bongani Ntanzi was charged and taken to Foslorus court on the 19th of June 2020? Khumalo said there's no such entry, my lord. So if they did say, okay, we're going to go through this Nongoma case at Foslorus, Khumalo would have known.
Yeah.
But then there's no such entry. Then Mshololo said, and it's not recorded in the system of the SAPS. And Khumalo said, that's correct, my lord. It's not recorded. Khumalo said that he had 30 years as a detective, working as a detective. And Mshololo said, in your 30 years of service in the SAPS, have you taken a suspect to court for the prosecutor to charge him and not you charging the suspect? Khumalo said, never, my lord. Mshololo said, this question is also not the evidence that has been tendered by Sergeant Mohani, but I'm asking you from experience. When the case or the suspect is taken to court after being charged, it may happen that the matter is enrolled. It may happen that the matter is not enrolled, withdrawn, or proceeds to trial. And all those steps that are taken by the prosecutor in court happens after a suspect has been formally charged by the SAPS. And Khumalo said, that's correct. I'm now going to take you back as to when was this Nongoma case 16310 of 2018 opened. And Khumalo said it was opened on the 17th of August 2018 at around 1800 hours, and it shows registers on the system 1900 hours. The arrest of the suspect was done immediately when he was apprehended on the very same day on the 17th of October. And Mshololo said, so Nongoma case 16310 of 2018 was opened on the 17th of October 2018, and the suspect was arrested on the same day. And Khumalo said immediately after he apprehended him, he was arrested.
Yeah, let's press the like button. Guys, please press the like button.
Mshololo said, is there a stage wherein this case docket remained in the SAPS system as an undetected case? Well, as in a case that was not being investigated properly. Khumalo said, so immediately after we arrested the suspect, we processed him by charging him obtaining a warning statement. We take him to court. It was enrolled. It never gets withdrawn along the way. It was a court-going case up until its finalization.
So meaning it was never called. And it was never suggested by any of those people that apparently some of the cases had to be suggested.
None of that.
You know what is scaring about this thing? What scares me about this thing is how highly these people are regarded by some of their colleagues. I mean, hearing Elishabane, hearing some of the people that you worry. So they only look at the outcome that someone is arrested. They don't look at the nitty-gritties, at what basis and how the person was arrested. So then they call you a crime buster for that.
Yes.
If we are able to get 10 black people in jail in a week, good stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. You are
Score.
a crime buster.
There was a time whereby there was a long remand because of lockdown in 2020. And Mshololo said, but the suspect had already been charged and appeared at court at that stage. And Khumalo said he was in custody, he was charged. Mshololo said, is there a stage wherein the Nongoma case 16310 of 2018 was endorsed as an undetected case? And Khumalo said, not at all, my lord. On the system, could you see any request that was made by the cold case unit head requesting that case to be transferred to the cold case unit as a case that was undetected? Khumalo said, not at all, my lord, because that was going to be done by me, because I was having a function of transferring and receiving in assigning dockets. And Mshololo said, let's move to the time wherein you had a meeting with Brigadier Gininda at the King Shaka Airport. Khumalo said that he cannot recall, but he thinks it's somewhere around 2019 or 2020. By the way, this is the only thing that Sibanda got. And their angle is to try and contradict. But later on, he's going to say
discredit you. That's
yes.
simple as that. They're only there to discredit because they don't have any evidence.
But he did state that he cannot recall. So even if he wanted to use it against him, he did state that I can't recall properly what yet was. He put in that disclaimer. Then Mshololo said, did Brigadier Gininda tell you that they have a suspect under Nongoma case 16310 of 2018? And Khumalo said, if I can remember correctly, wanted to find out on the Nongoma case 163 who was arrested. Was the firearm recovered? And if it is recovered, do we have a ballistic report? And Mshololo said, did Brigadier Gininda also tell you that he was investigating the case that was allocated to you? And Khumalo said, I think he indicated to General Khumalo because I was there as an IO. As to what do I have in the docket, but with regard to the fact that he has got a case that he's investigating as a suspect who has been arrested, I don't remember. And Mshololo says, so at the time when you met Brigadier Gininda was not registered as the investigating officer of Nongoma case 16310 of 2018 in the system of SAPS. And Khumalo said he was not. And then Mshololo said, you further testified that he asked for the lab number. What is the lab number for? Because there is a forensic lab number and a ballistic. What lab number? And Khumalo said it's a ballistic lab number because in 2018, the issue of the touch DNA was not in practice by then. So we were only having the ballistic report only. We did not have a touch DNA report. Mshololo said, do you have that lab number in the docket? Am I correct to say that that lab number forms part of the A-clip? And Khumalo said that's correct. Mshololo is actually smart. She's getting this lab number in advance because of the experience of being in this case. If they just let this slide and not ask for that ballistic report, in the docket that Gininda may have, there may be a different ballistic.
Hey.
Or a ballistic report that was done by Mangena again. I'm telling you. So she's ahead. She's thinking, you know what? I need to get this ballistic number or lab number from this investigating officer so that we have the same firearm. Yeah, should anything happen, the gun is the same. You understand? So Msholola said, which can be furnished to the defense. He said, that's correct. Can you see in the docket you have a lab number or the report that was given to Brigadier Gininda at the time when you had a meeting? And Khumalo said, unfortunately, my lord, I do not have the ballistic report. The reason being it was handed in court during the trial as an exhibit. But if the court needs it, I have to reopen the case and go to the system called ICDM's Investigative Crime Docket Management System, whereby you can go to the system and if the docket was scanned or uploaded, you can retrieve it and print it. But it's a long process because I have to get somebody who can reopen the docket for me because it says closed. As an IO, I'm not allowed to reopen the docket. It's the people from uniform. So it's going to be a long process. So it's more in the administration side of the SAPS after the case is closed. And Shololo said, am I correct to understand that it means the report is filed on the case system unit of the ballistics? And Khumalo said, yes, if I can go, they can print it for me, but it has a thing that they call a doc file. So once the case has been filed, the case of 2018 and more than 10 years, they move all the filed documents from Durban, Omanzintoti, and then they are brought to Pretoria. So it's going to be a long process. You know, when I heard him say this, I thought of the dockets, the 135 dockets that were taken to Pretoria. Look at this process. The cases first have to be closed, finalized. Final, not closed, but finalized. Right? Then they are moved from Durban Amanzitoti to Pretoria. But someone decided before they even finish with investigations, let me take them all. Let me take them all to Pretoria. And then when they got there, they just said, Kora to be destroyed. So I understand what Mkwanazi did. I totally get it. I didn't get it before, but now I'm like, yeah, the man had to do what the man had to do. So Mshololo said, can I ask you?
Ask what?
He asked about the process of this ballistic report.
He asked about the ballistic.
Yes.
He got the number of a firearm.
No, he didn't get the number of the ballistic report. That's what she was asking for. And then the Khumalo was explaining of how much it's a long process. So it's actually in Pretoria now.
Did they get the gun?
Yes. It's it's in the ballistic report.
The gun number.
It's in the ballistic report.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, we are not in a case of kids here. Things do change. You'll find that the ballistic testing could have been that one of Butele's. When was the ballistic done, by the way?
Of this case?
Yes.
Around 2018, I think.
Of Senzo's case.
Wasn't it 2018 as well? Or 2020? 2018.
Yeah.
There were two that were done. Multiple.
The second one, I'm more interested on the last one that finally got the bullet.
I think 2020. Guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, I'm not afraid to admit
because
if I'm guessing.
They are saying Gininda only ask about the gun.
Yes.
The number.
The gun number.
They must, you know what? I don't know. It's just that I don't know how possible it is. I would have liked to get this gun, this one. This one. I would have liked to get it and test it.
That's why Mshololo wants the report. Because we have us. She knows them now, what they're capable of.
When was Kapelani arrested? 2018.
2018. Yes. And at the time, he had just been assigned Senzo's case. That's what he says. He says General Kehlas Tole assigned him in 2018. And it seems like, in my opinion, perhaps he was interested in this Qiniselani case. That's my opinion. I'm not sure. I wasn't there.
Because why was he ever interested in Qiniselani? He's going to say it's a confession of accused number one.
This is tricky. This is a tricky situation. I don't know what he's going to say, because at the time there were no confessions. So what could have possibly led him to Qiniselani? But maybe he did try with this particular firearm, but maybe it didn't quite fit the vision. Which is why they had to go get accused number 3's one before it went to be destroyed. Because here, I guess they were moving from a revolver. Perhaps Qiniselani's one was a revolver. Kwazibani. I'm just speculating. So we don't know. But it looks like there was an interest with this Qiniselani case in 2018. I'm just saying. And if it's taxi violence related,
Qiniselani is from Nongoma.
yes.
And who else from Nongoma?
Accused number 5.
Accused number 5. No, not just to say accused number 5 per se. All I'm asking is, I'm thinking, so this thing started by, in my opinion, by the statement that said there's a gun that was bought from Joburg.
Gauteng.
Then maybe someone saw a chance of creating a case out of that.
I can see it.
And then they followed that gun. And then they found Qiniselani and the other Butelis. Because accused number 5 is saying when he came there, he said he's there to arrest Butelis. That is the Buteli. Abafana bakwa Butelis.
Meaning more than one.
Those two.
Yes.
So he followed that guard. Upon being there, what did he realize? Maybe that the gun had one murder or something like that.
Or maybe they realized that 2014 they were detained.
Yes.
Butelis.
Yes.
So even if the gun, they make it match, how are they going to explain the fact that they were in jail? And then they were like, say, break. We need another perpetrator. We need another suspect.
And then came this, I don't know what to call him, Zung.
And then Zumbu just. And then when he came, it was like, manna from heaven.
But how did he come, Nai?
Because Nai, history cycle from Lishabani's version is sounding very dodgy. Because Lishaban is saying, Zungu came to me and he said a senior police officer sent him to me. Do you remember that? Who's the senior police officer that could have sent Zungu to Lishaban in 2019?
Maybe, allegedly, maybe somewhere, somehow, something happened with Gwabin, which then maybe eventually would come back and link Zungu back.
Okay.
Then maybe when they were looking for that Gwabin guy, then maybe Zungu, it led them to Zungu. And from there, everything started. Because I'm trying to think, to piece how, and then Zungu, that's why I'm saying, I cannot shake it off. I cannot shake Gwabini off as a person who also gave some information, in my opinion. I can't shake him off. I can't shake him off. Like,
I hear you.
Zungu couldn't have pieced this thing
All by himself.
Considering that he doesn't know these people, in my opinion.
Gwabeni perhaps was
And then
you know when you meet a new person.
halfway when he realized that, okay, no man, this cannot go this way, and then he started jumping off. And then Zungu took over.
It's a possibility.
Because when you listen to Zungu's statement, he doesn't know these people. He's just fitting there and there, fitting. That's why the statement
Gwabini
kept on.
is the point of contact.
Yes, only Gwabini knows all these people.
Yes, he knows all of them. He does. He's the only one who knows all of them. Zungu didn't know those people. He doesn't know them. Hi, Asas.
So Zungu, the gun he was going to look for in KZN was this one, wasn't it?
Yes.
This is the gun.
It could be this one.
Maybe they chose Zungu because he told them he's from that side of Nongoma. Then he was like, yep.
It could be this one.
Go.
And it was still fresh. Pela, they just caught Qiniselani. And then wathola ukuthi KZN hayi protocol is observed. Wathola ukuthi hayi ngathi kuzoba nzima ukuthi ngisithole lezi zibhamu. Allegedly. Was speculating.
I wish sometimes they can just tell us.
Angeke.
How really did it start?
We will
Because
be left with our speculations. Angeke. Well, Msholola said, can I ask you, Lieutenant Colonel, that you request that report for us, even if you are not going to testify about it now? And Khumalo said, I will make means, my lord. I will even go to High Court and make an application because I believe that the ballistic report is at the court at Pietermaritzburg. So I will request the court to make an application if it needs be. Then I will try and get that lab report. And Mshololo said, do you have the High Court case number of this case where it was finalized? And Khumalo said, yes, I do. It's CCD 61 of 2019. It was held at Mtunzini High Court. And Mshololo said, it is also evidence that the person who was convicted under this case, the name of the suspect is not Bongani Danzi. And he said it is not Bongani Danzi, but it's Qiniselani Buthelezi. That wrapped up Mshololo's evidence in chief. Nqumalo asked about that docket that Brigadier Gilinda testified about in court, the Nongoma 163 duplicate registered but not on the SAPS system data, barricking jigs or jacks, it's not there. He said that he doesn't know what is the status of his request. The judge said, there's your colleague, go there and settle it with him. So the judge at this point is not telling Sibanda, give them that docket. No. He's saying, your colleague is there. Just ask him. Just ask him. Why are you involving me? The indecisiveness that we're talking about when it comes to the state and what the state chooses to do, what information they give, what information they do not give. Right now we are in a trial. Everything they have should be on the table. But no, they don't want to do that. But they are the state. They are the state that said they have a strong case against this accused. But they're hiding certain things. Certain things are not forthcoming. Sibanda was up now for cross-examination on behalf of the state. Now, Sibanda started off by, talking to the witness and letting him know of the consequences of making a false statement under oath. Khumalo said that he'll be criminally liable. He'll be punished for making such false statements under oath. Interesting. He was trying to scare him.
As usual.
He likes acting dangerous, that one. Well, he said Sibanda started with the contradiction that he first made, even though Khumalo said that he was estimating he doesn't remember. Do you remember, guys? I mentioned it earlier. He said he met Brigadier Gininda at King Shaka Airport yesterday. He testified, or the day before, it was a Tuesday, he testified that it was 2021 and 2022, and today he said 2018. He didn't even say 2018, 2019. I think he said 2019, 2020. Nisi said that, that he was about to, proffer that answer. He said, I really cannot remember. That is something that the state is omitting in their submission or supposition. Well, Sibanda said, Colonel, I'm in charge now. I'm asking you a question. Whatever the defense wants to clarify, they'll do that during re-examination. I was defeated. I was like, not this again. Not this again. Well, Mnisi, of course, did not let it go. He said, no, my lord, that is procedural. We cannot just be seated here as dummies when wrong suppositions are being made to this witness, because the state is also supposed to be very fair in the process. It's also assisting the court. The state cannot simply say that I'm now in charge of the cross-examination. What if the state is putting wrong suppositions to this witness? And then we are supposed to be seated down here and not raise any concerns or objections simply because the state is in charge. That does not happen, my lord. And then the judge said, which is a wrong supposition? Nisi explained again what Sibanda had done wrong. I could not go through that whole explanation. So he said, sir, I'm going to let the state put a correct supposition in terms of what the answer of this witness was. Not to omit one aspect of the answer and put that which the state thinks it suits them. The judge said, tell him how to put it. Kabanga, guys. He's not making a ruling. He's telling Nisi to show Sibanda how to do his job.
Yes.
Well, well, Mnisi said, thank you, my lord. I'm now being the state. Okay, the court is inviting me to teach the state on how to point to that answer. Mr. Witness, is it correct that today, when you were asked as to when you met Brigadier Gininda, your answer was to the effect, my lord, I can't really remember, well, but it could have been between 2021 and 2022. Thank you, my lord. That is how the question was supposed to be put. And then Sibanda said, Colonel, is that what you said? That's what Sibanda said. And then the Khumalo said, today, And Sibanda said, yes. And then Khumalo said, no, today my recollection tells me that it was 2021, January. I was blind, totally blind. I was in hospital for almost 3 months, took the operation on both eyes. Even today, I'm going for an injection for this eye. He said he's going on the 17th of this month for an injection. So he was severely sick. My God. And then Sibanda says, so do you then realize that those 2 periods you gave differ materially? And Khumalo said, no. As I indicated through my recollection, I cannot remember that it was 2019 or 2020, or the peak of 2020. Sibanda said, was General Khumalo at that meeting at King Shaka Airport? And Khumalo said, I was with him. And Sibanda said, Khumalo said that he only knows one accused, which is accused number 5. This is what Khumalo was saying. And he was investigating one of his matters in Nongoma. Hey, accused number 5. Even Mkwanas, General Mkwanas know him. And now we're finding out that General Khumalo also knows accused number 5.
Yeah, speak ATT.
And then Sibanda said, did you arrest him? And Khumalo said, I was not present when they arrested him. I only took the docket in January 2019. I saw the cameraman look at accused number 5. It was an interesting sight. Then Sibanda now asked this witness if he knew the whereabouts of accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the 26th of October 2014. And Khumalo said no. And Mnisi said this witness was spoken about having investigated the case that involves accused number 5. Now the next question is, do you know accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 where they were on the 26th of October 2014? And Sibanda said, Khumalo said no. And the matter before the court is Foslora's case 63616 of 2014 incident that happened on the 26th of October 2014. And Khumalo said, I don't know where they are because that time I was stationed in Vryheid. So Nongoma is about 135 kilometers away from Vryheid. And then Sibanda asked about the warning statement of Nongoma 16310 of 2018. Khumalo said that he is not the one who filled it in. It was filled in by the officers who conducted the arrest. He said that he went through that warning statement. He did go through it. And Sibanda said, was there information that you could investigate as a result of that warning statement? And Khumalo said, yes, there was. On the warning statement, there are 2 aspects that the accused indicated. He said that he was not prepared to write anything. Okay. So pretty much, I don't know, Mr. Anonymous, I feel like skipping these other parts.
Which part?
We are drag, yo.
Which part?
So you want me to cover everything?
Cover.
Yo guys, Sibanda, we are morana. I don't enjoy his cross-examination at all. It's hard. It's difficult to go through because he's redundant. He's going through one point over and over and over. So yeah. Okay. So Khumalo said, I'm prepared to make my statement before court. And he did mention that to the arresting officer that this firearm that was found in his possession, he bought it from Gauteng for 1,800 rands. And then Sibanda said, do you agree with me that the information ought to be investigated? Well, Khumalo said that is correct, of which I did. Sibanda said, what investigation did you conduct? And Khumalo said it was negative in the sense that the accused even failed to tell me their whereabouts in Gauteng where they met that certain guy. Hey, Khumalo, don't tube people to get confessions out of them. They investigate. By the time they go arrest a person, they have actual evidence they are presenting to that person. They're like, this is what you did, and there's the evidence, which is what we thought happens in the police. And then Sibanda said, but do you confirm that there was a sale of this firearm somewhere in Gauteng? And Khumalo said that was his version. Yes, I wanted to follow the version of which it was difficult because the accused did indicate to me or didn't indicate to me the whereabouts because Gauteng is a province. Gauteng is big. Where was he supposed to start looking for this place where they sell firearms for 1,800? And the cold case, the cold room built a case against Ntanzi based on that. They don't even know where in Gauteng Qiniselani said he got the firearm. They just build the whole case and not put it on the system. Well, Sibanda said, and that is where the investigation stopped. And Khumalo said, yes, it was impossible for me to drive from KZN to Gauteng. And where was I going to look for him? Sibanda said, did you profile Qiniselani Buthelezi? And Khumalo said, yes. Did you confirm his address? And Khumalo, I did confirm his address after the first appearance for the purpose of bail application. And Sibanda said, where was his address? And Khumalo said, Nongoma at Makhimba, near Makhimba store. And I was also assisted by one member of the family. I cannot recall his name who directed me. Sibanda says, so you don't have to mention the name of that person. During the arrest, was his cell phone recovered from him? And Khumalo said there is no mention of any cell phone. It was not recovered. He only provided his cell phone number to us, but there was no cell phone that was recovered from him. And then Sibanda said, did you apply for a section 205 of that cell phone? And Khumalo said, no, we did not. And then Sibanda said, since he indicated...
Why would you be applying for section 205 for the cell phone?
Angazi Sibanda uyazi. He
is now comparing this nonsense they made of this case.
We are comparing.
You do section 205 when you want to link people, when you want to see also where they were, their proximity of where they were and all that. In this case, a person is red-handedly caught with a gun.
With a firearm.
Such investigation is not necessary. That's how... the reasoning icon of a fit. Let's press the like button, guys. Let's smash the like button.
Okay, so Sibanda said, since he indicated that he bought a firearm from someone in Gauteng, did you investigate his banking records?
For what?
Khumalo said, no, I did not.
No, like honest, for what? Okay, so he was going to buy that gun by saying, let me buy a gun to so and so, and I'm gonna write, I'm buying a gun.
They got him with the gun, red-handed. All of that is not necessary, honestly speaking. They caught him red-handed with the firearm. So why are they looking? Why are they invading his privacy now, looking through his bank records for what? There's no need.
They do ask stupid questions. I'm sorry, man. They just do ask stupid questions. Let's like the videos. Continue.
Pelabona, they have invaded Ntanzi's privacy. They've invaded it. They've outdone themselves. Why? Because they had no evidence. That speaks to the level of investigation. Sibanda said, can you confirm that on the 16th of June 2020, the docket was lying somewhere in KZN, either in your office or in the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions? And Khumalo said it was with the Director of Public Prosecutions, not me. Sibanda said, so would you not expect to see the details of accused number 2 on that docket that is before you? And Khumalo said, yes, my lord.
You would not expect to see, obvious, because this is the original docket. You want to create your own.
The reason being, this is possession of unlicensed firearms. found in Mr. Buthelezi. He was alone.
They couldn't have hold them together like, oh, let me hold the piece of a gun, you hold the other. Crazy, man, how the line of questioning from this man.
There was nobody accompanying him or who was with Mr. Buthelezi. So I would not expect that in this docket there would be accused number 2, because accused number 1 was alone during the time of arrest. Sibanda said, was it not your evidence that you are not privy to the information that Mokhane had on the 16th of June 2020? Khumalo said, yes, I said so. And you are privy to the information as contained in the warning statement that Qiniselani Buthelezi bought the firearm from someone in Gauteng. Khumalo said, yes. Now, this is where I believe, in my opinion, the plan of making Tanzi now a gun supplier came about. Sibanda said there is a witness statement that was obtained by Sergeant Mokhane from a witness named Simpiwe Buthelezi. Are you aware of the statement? Khumalo said, I am confused. Are we dealing with possession or a murder? If it's a murder, I don't have the statement that was obtained with respect to murder. Sibanda said, no, I'm talking about the investigation that Sergeant Mokhane conducted. Said that statement was read on the 23rd of January 2024, where Gininda read it under cross-examination by Mgome Zulu. It said, I, Simpiwe Buthelezi, under oath in English, I'm an adult male born 5th of March 1974 and residing in Nongoma, KwaZulu-Natal, currently unemployed. I know Qiniselani Buthelezi, or known him as, I think he meant to say Makhimba, but Babale Mkhwanazi. I don't know why. From the same area in Mahlabatini village, KwaNongoma, where you grew up. He's known as a hitman around Johannesburg. Qiniselani has committed many crimes such as murder, possession of caliber of firearms. Some of the firearms that Qiniselani used in killing people are supplied to him by a well-known gun supplier by the name of Ntanzi Mafika, who also comes from Nongoma area. Well-known gun supplier by the name of Ntanzi Mafika. Ntanzi is a very quiet gentleman and no one can suspect him. He is a firearm supplier and ammunition. Bongani Mafika is working at TAH6 in Carltonville, where he's operating from together with operating together with Basotho nationals. They supply the hitmen and other kinds of firearms and ammunition around the country, and sometimes they hire firearms. Ooh, what a statement. So now what is caught my attention, they're saying he was a hitman around Natal in Johannesburg. My apologies. Around Natal in Johannesburg. So he sometimes hired firearms to hitmen. Qiniselani Buthelezi is a very connected person and some of his cases are thrown out of court. When he's arrested, Qiniselani, who sometimes hires people to help with bribing the police and the prosecutors and the magistrate, and he even bragged that around November 2012 he was found in possession of an AK-47 and ammunition, and he further told the firearm was Bongani Ntanzi's, Mafika Ntanzi, and he further told me that the AK-47 was one used to rob ShopRite in Vosloorus by Bongani Ntanzi, and another name by the name of Nkani Ntuli and another unknown people to him. Policemen were shot around January 2014. I decided to move from Nongoma to stay in Mazulu Hostel in Vosloorus to try and make a living for myself so that I can make money, and I stayed working at a taxi rank as a marshal, car and minibus, and the driver, which I know, approached by the name of the taxi driver. Then he said he was approached by somebody at the taxi rank. Taxi driver looking for a gun, where he was approached by somebody at the taxi rank. Approached by a taxi driver looking for a gun to protect himself, and specifically said he wants a hot fire ammunition, unless there's one known as a pistol. Oh my God, the reading here, it was so terrible. Guys, I apologize if it sounds wishy-washy. I was listening to how he was reading. There were no full stops, commas, nothing. I immediately contacted Qiniselani. He hooked me up with Mafika Ntanzi, whom now stays in Johannesburg. Mafika Ntanzi bought a 9mm pistol and I took it to the taxi driver. A 9mm myself, and he received cash for the said transaction and ammunition because as the middleman of the transaction I was, Bongani Ntanzi used two firearms in Foslora's house and surrounding and had some secret meetings at the hostel with other people and shared certain things with me. I'm talking about June 2014. There was the time around October 2014 where we used to hang out around with the hostel from home in Nongoma by the name of Carlos. There was a time in 2014 where I used to hang out with the homies from Nongoma. The name of these people, Carlos Mapisa Ngani Muzi, in a room where Gwabeni resides. Gwabeni is also from Nongoma. Around November 2014, Bongani Ntanzi started to give me attention. He was always visiting me and sometimes bringing firearms to show to people. I also noticed that he was not the same Bongani that I once knew. He became distant, not to talk like before. When I asked him, he said something is waking him.
Subsequently, your English, sir.
But I must not worry. He will solve it. He continued.
Something is working him.
He continued selling firearms to Qiniselani and other people, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, because there was a high demand of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. There was a time when Ntanzi Mafika walked in Carltonville to Rustenburg. He found a better shop in MTE and he still continues supplying firearms and ammunition. There was a time in 2017 where Bongani sold a 9mm pistol with ammunition to Qiniselani. The pistol had a special name and made Qiniselani to have power, bragging that he's carrying a very special person. Pistol with a handmade, and it was at Fosloras. I don't know where Bongani Mafika Ntanzi got this firearm from. He said he didn't want to show me his supplier. Bongani Ntanzi was staying in Rustenburg and making money securing firearms, and I also heard from Qiniselani that Bongani is now making more money in that province. He also supplies more firearms in Marikana. Bongani Mafika Ntanzi invited me to visit him in Phokeng, Rustenburg. He said he heard him taking over the phone with Mapisa. He invited him to visit him in Carltonville and Rustenburg, where I overheard him talking on the phone with Mapisa that he did a good job by killing a union member in Marikana, and Mapisa must make sure that Gwabini paid him the money because he did not want to be traced with the bank accounts. I heard that the person that was killed is a big person and very powerful. And I asked him if he's also started killing people. He said it is a man's job. He had to do it because he needed money to make a better living, and I warned him about it. Bongani used to keep small quantities of firearms and ammunition in his room, in the roof of his room, in a bag and cover with a blanket. I used to move around Nongoma and Fosloras pointing certain firearms for me and Bongani, Ntanzi and Qiniselani. And he was our customer because by now, Qiniselani sometimes knew the firearm. They used the firearm to kill people. And I discovered that Qiniselani had a lot of cases which he's being arrested for. He's arrested for investigating people, arrested for or investigated for killing people. Around June 2020, I went to Fosloras and had Moses Bia and his girlfriend regarding a serious hit. His girlfriend regarding the Senzo Meyiwa case, and attempted this further. His father further paid a policeman to cancel out the case. I also heard that Bongani Ntanzi Mapisa, Carlos Ngani Ntuli are involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. I was very angry at them because they have killed a very important person who was the national goalkeeper for our football in Orlando Pirates. Around May 2020, I was approached by Sergeant Mohan and Sergeant Mabena.
Is this guy no more?
They said he passed away after they read it the last time, remember? With Mgomezulu. And they're like, Mgomezulu solicited it because how can you read a statement of a dead person as if they're still here? Do you remember that whole... and then they're like, no, the defense made their bed, they should lie in it. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Then they asked me, how do I know Qiniselani Buteles and Mabena told me...
He was shot by the police.
There's an allegation that he was a drive-by shooting, I think.
What is his name?
Qiniselani Buthelezi.
The guy who wrote the statement.
No, it's Simpiwe Buthelezi, the one who wrote the statement. It's the one who passed away. Qiniselani apparently, allegedly, he got out of prison because of medical parole. And then Simpiwe is the one who's deceased. He has passed on. Allegedly, it was a drive-by shooting or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the details. He said, I told them that I heard Qiniselani was arrested in Nongoma, and he asked me about my gun involvement with Ntanzi, and I explained that I was the middleman, that my gun dealings with Ntanzi, and I explained, that I was a middleman just making money for myself. I voluntarily decided to work with the police to trace Bongani in Rustenburg. On 16 June 2020, I took the police to Phokeng and showed them a place where Bongani Ntanzi is staying, and I also pointed him to Sergeant Mabena and Sergeant Mohani. Bongani was not working at the time because of COVID-19. I am prepared to take the police to meet the witness that are also threatened by Ntanzi Mapisa, Carlos Ntuli, Qiniselani, and further names, and Joseph Dambo, Fuzile Bali, Thando Khumalo, Tshepo Mokoena, Nontobeko Sithole, Dikeledi Serape, and John Sioka. So these are the people that are saying Ntanzi threatened. So the statement was signed and commissioned by Sergeant Mohani on the 20th of June 2020 at 2 o'clock. 2020. 20th of June. So this statement was signed and commissioned after they arrested Ntanzi. Interesting. Well, Khumalo said that he never had sight of that particular statement during his investigation. And you know what the most diabolical thing that Sibanda did? He did not tell the witness that the Simpiwe Buthelezi is no more. You know, he didn't tell the witness that. He made it seem like Simpiwe Buthelezi is still gonna come to court to testify to all of this. Well, Khumalo said he had never had sight of that statement. He said he did not have any comment because Makhimba only said he bought it in Gauteng. He never supplied him the name or the place where he bought it. He said, I was expecting the name. I was expecting from him that maybe he will say at the hostel, which hostel, and then I'll try to get that information. So he never gave me a direction as to where he bought this firearm. And then Sibanda said, let me try to ask the question differently. What is continued in the warning statement, or what is contained in the warning statement? Remember that part where he said, I bought the firearm for 1,800 in Gauteng. And then what is contained in this very lengthy affidavit? I want your comment whether you understand this information was never placed before you at the time you were investigating the case against Qiniselani Buthelezi. Why? Because you got it ka 2020. He arrested Qiniselani in 2018. So how was he supposed to get that? And where did you get that information? Where did Mohani and Gininda get that information? Since they didn't get it from Qiniselani. So they were planning on using the same strategy that they've been running Senzo's case with. Khumalo said it was never placed, my lord. And then Sibanda said, now with the benefit of hindsight, and as well as having listened to the statement, what would you have done? Ramasipil objected and said it calls for speculation. Khumalo agreed. He said, because the statement is long and winding, I think the proper way for the prosecutor to ask the witness is to, refer the witness to that particular portion of the statement that he sees should benefit him to rely on the speculative hypothesis, it will not assist at all. And then Mnisi said, this is the very same approach that the state objected on the defense to asking these types of questions. Actually, the state said this is a what? Speculative speculation. What did they call it? I forgot. Which finds no legal application in your legal system. We had to bow down our heads and say that the state is correct. I assume the state will also do the same, my lord. When we are using their own words, that is a speculative speculation. Well, the judge said no. As I understand the evidence, that statement was not introduced by Mkomezulu. Mkomezulu senakai Mkomezulu. Sibanda is asking a question that is making the witness speculate on things that they know nothing about. The witness has said, I don't know this information, but Sibanda wants him to speculate on it. Why are you not making a ruling and bringing up Mkomezulu? For what? Well, the judge stopped the defense from saying anything further. Said, wait. It was introduced by Mkomezulu. That is how I understand it. That's it. And Mnisi said, but the question is, judge said, no, I'm just saying it's introduced by Mkomezulu. Mnisi said that's not in dispute. If the court can just have a little patience. The judge said, I thought maybe you are saying it's speculation. Mnisi said, no. The court is misunderstanding the narrative here. And I'm saying it with the greatest respect. Our objection is based on the question that is being asked by the state. If you had this, in fact, the state says, when you investigate the case docket, did you come across or did you have this information? Then the witness says, no, I never had it. Then the state makes a follow-up question to say, if you had it, what would you have done? Then we're standing up and saying that is prospective speculation. And the judge said, okay, fine, it's a speculation, doctor. And Sibanda said, it's fine, my lord. I'll ask the question differently. I'll refer to the witness to paragraph that he read, that paragraph he was referring to, taking that into consideration, what is supplied in the statement. What would be your comment, asking Kere Khumalo? Khumalo responded and said, if this I knew it, even after Kaniselani gave that explanation that he bought it from Gauteng, then I was going to make a follow-up based on this part. The statement is whoever obtained it in 2020. So Kaniselani was arrested in 2018. If Mohani called me and approached me and indicated to me, are you aware that the firearm that you found, there's a possibility that that firearm, sourced from accused number 2, which is Ntanzi, then I was going to make a follow-up. So up until today, this has never came to my attention. It only came to my attention now. And then Sibanda said, and then what would be the result of the follow-up? Before he could answer, Mnisi objected and said, I've raised the point here that which the state is embarking now on is prospective speculation. Now the state proceeds exactly on the same line of prospective speculation. So I don't know whether that is by the blessing of the court, that in any event, let it proceed, because he's not making a ruling. But then he got upset to judge. What do you mean, the blessing of the court? What do you mean, the blessing of the court? Yeah. I said, no, you can't say that. I don't bless any witness in this court. I don't bless any counsel in this court. I'm just judging the case. How can you say that? My blessing. Just withdraw that, please. I feel insulted. Yeah, it was hot. He says he felt insulted. Well, Mnisi said, I did not intend to insult my lord. And they just said, yeah, it's an insult to me. Well, Mnisi said, let me explain myself when I say blessing. That is a Shakespearean language. And the judge said, never. I know English far better than you. Blessing of the court. And then Mnisi said, I understand that, but it's a Shakespearean English. That simply means, does the court allow the state to proceed that which they have, preferred to as prospective speculation? In other words, I'm requesting the court to rule on the objection. Simple as that. And the reason why Sibanda kept committing the same blunder in different ways is because the judge, he didn't want to make a ruling. And Sibanda did not know whether it's wrong or right. He just said it's permission for me to continue but take another approach of doing the same thing. Because why? The judge doesn't rule when it comes to Sibanda or the state, even Baloyi. There's no ruling. Baloyi has a decency of saying, okay, because he knows, he's experienced, like he knows what to do, what not to do. He calls himself to order. So he's under the impression that Sibanda must do the same, but Sibanda doesn't do that. Okay, he doesn't call himself to order, so he needs the judge to make a ruling. The judge doesn't make a ruling. And then Nisi said, I'm not insulting the court, my lord. I'm respectful to do that, my lord. I'm too respectful to do that, my lord. And then the judge turned to Sibanda and said, Doctor, they say you are speculating. Sibanda said, I'm not speculating, my lord. It's based on facts, what is contained in the docket and what is contained in the statement only. I'm not asking for facts. I'm not asking him to speculate something that is not founded. He actually is asking him to speculate on something that is not founded. Where's the docket? Where's the case? Is it founded? Is it on the system? No. Ramasipili then said, when I rose up, our succinct objection calls for speculation. In that respect, I concur with Advocate Mnisi. I expected the court, after all of us had objected, to rule and say proceed with that line of questioning, or you cannot proceed because now the door is left open and my learned colleague is proceeding doing the same lines where these witnesses, I was not privy at the time of my investigation about this Impio Buthelezi statement. Now, if we enter the realms of, you had this, you could have done, that is speculation, my lord, and we end up there. And then the judge said, yeah, fine. Yes, do you have any further questions, sir? Again, he's not ruling. Sibanda said he was distracted and asked that they go for a long adjournment. And now he wanted to gather his thoughts again.
Jab to Sibanda jabbing to Msholol. Yeah, a small boy, man.
Hey, yaziyadelela.
Let's press the like button. Matsidi, so thank you very much. God bless you. Let's press the like button. Let's press the like button.
After the long adjournment, Sibanda said that he's putting the statement in abeyance for a while. They'll get back to it. Then he showed the witness where the system shows the sentence of the accused from the case system. Did you authorize the reproduction of that document? Did you authorize for someone to have that copy? And Khumalo said no. And Sibanda said, are members of the public allowed to have access to that system? Khumalo said no. Kanti, how utla Sibanda Mkomezulu saying that there's a police officer who assisted him in extracting that extract from the system? Agamzwang?
The question has nothing to do with that.
What does it have to do with?
The question was just merely trying to demonstrate that if he says he authorizes everything, how then did this other police have
Akiri
access?
explained that when the case is finalized, it's now with the administrative side of the police
That's
in
what Sibanda
uniform.
was all about.
Doesn't he listen?
He listens. I was just clarifying. Good, that's what Sibanda.
But he did explain what happens when a case is finalized.
Yes, but
He
that's
no
what,
longer has access.
That's what he was trying to explain.
Your way. Then he said the custodian of the system is the SAPS. And there is a person, Sergeant Elm Gomezulu. Khumalo said that he doesn't know that person, but there's a station bearing and they can find out who at the station of Nongoma is this particular person. So this Elm Gomezulu is the person who assisted Gomezulu to extract that piece. So it means, they are in the police. It's not some member of the public who extracted that. So Sibanda said, was your name not supposed to appear on this document as the investigating officer? Well, Khumalo said it depends on who got into the system. Because if you get in with your personal number. So the people who might have the system, I don't have their full name. It is MIC who deal with the analysis of the crime at the station. So the state is also coming for whoever helped Mgomezulu, it seems. And Khumalo said, if I can add, there are functions whereby any policeman can get to it and find out, provided that it belongs to the province. I just want to make an example. My profile that I have is all over South Africa. I can get into the Western Cape to check the verdict of a particular case, and then it will show me, but it will show who got into the system by personal number and by rank. So Sibanda said, was it not your evidence that you are the one who had access to this information? Which is why I'm asking, doesn't he listen? You are saying he listens.
I didn't say he listens.
Well, Khumalo said access to the docket. If I can check the date of 2023, yes, I do. But at the station level, where the case is registered, the MIC and CIAC has got access to the dockets that belongs to their station. So a person who cannot have access is a person, for example, who's from Ulundi. That person, even as a CIAC, cannot have access to Ulundi police station. It's only the person who falls in that station who is a CIAC member and an MIC member. Sibanda said, what about the fact now that this information found itself inside the court without you authorizing it? What is your view on that? There was no need for him to authorize it because the case is finalized. Khumalo said, I think the person whose name appears must come and tell the court how did they get the information. And then Sibanda said, does this not put the risk to witnesses as well as investigators of this information can be accused like this? Well, he didn't hand over the information of the witnesses and everything else. He was just demonstrating to the court that Ntanzi is not an accused person on that case. Again, Khumalo said it can put at risk, but what I can highlight, my lord, the person who put this sentence was me, because I have access to the server every day. So this particular person only took this after I've closed the docket. Remember, my lord, if I close the docket, I archive it. I don't have any access to it. It's the station. But once I need the docket, they are going to open it once. They open it again. They allocate it to me. It's only me now who's got access and nobody else. So this information was extracted after I closed the docket and it was archived. So it's no longer, under my name. Hey, the judge's face when he said this. Sibanda asked Khumalo to elaborate further on the risk part. Then Mshololo asked for the Zulu interpretation to be done. While Sibanda said that there is no need, the witness is testifying in English. So Sibanda also forgot that the accused persons can't hear English. He didn't want to entertain their non-English.
Let's press the like button.
Mshololo said that her client is not an English-speaking person. Okay. Well, Jonas handled the situation better than before. He was a consummate professional this time around. He decided to do his job and not argue with Mshololo. Well, Khumalo said, what I wanted to say is that this information can compromise the case itself as well as the state witnesses. So Khumalo said that he was not familiar with the place Machamhlope where Qiniselani was arrested because Nongoma is very big. It's a very big place. Sometimes you are here and then a person will tell you that from there, from where the defense is sitting, it's also to now in the same area is being divided by Amakhosi Nezinduna. So Sibanda showed him a copy of the indictment and asked him to read where he highlighted, and Carlos is from Machamhlope. And in the Nongoma docket by the cold case unit, Sibanda directed Khumalo to a statement of Wilson Zweli Yapanga Nqumalo. Nqumalo objected to this. He objected. He said, I'm just finding it hard to grasp the cross-examination by my colleague because when I asked for the docket that is in their possession, I was refused access. Hence, the docket that is in the possession of the witness, which was called by the defense, is now the contents of that docket are now canvassed. This statement of Zwelia Pang Wilson Nqumalo is in that very same docket that the state is refusing with. And Sibanda wanted to introduce that statement without giving Nqumalo the docket that he asked for. Angir Gininda and Mukhani have opened another 16310 of
No, the statement is there on the other docket.
Which one?
The original docket.
Or the one that he has. So
Khumalo was objecting as to why is he putting the witnesses on the risk, and they on their side they are refusing with the docket that they have.
Well, Sibanda said they refused with the copies of the docket that is still under investigation, that was done by Sergeant Mohani, not this docket that they have not seen as well that was brought by the witness. He said that he's referring to the docket of the witness. Nqumalo said that the statement did not tell him that they are not going to give him access to that docket. Because now Sibanda was saying that they are not going to give them access to that docket. It will put witnesses at risk, blah, blah, blah. Well, Nqumalo said that the state did not tell him that, and Nqumalo said that they don't know whether the docket that Sibanda is in possession of is the copy of that docket, and he keeps on referring to the names of the witnesses. Is he not compromising their safety by doing that? And Sibanda said that he will ask the question differently. Khumalo said that if he finds...
They've already compromised the witness.
If he finds that the suspect found a firearm from someone else, he will follow the lead and receive guidance from the prosecutor on whether to call that person an accomplice or a witness. That is why we call it prosecutorially guided investigation, because in everything that we do, we consult the prosecutor, they give us guidance. So in everything that I do, I'll be guided by the prosecutor. Prosecutorially led investigation. Khumalo said that he's never come across a person who's known to be selling firearms. He said that if a person is accused of selling firearms, he will conduct operation first. He profiles him, finds out if he had a licensed firearm, and if he does, he will do a compliance inspection.
That was a jab to a stupid question of, now that we know for a fact that people are selling firearms. Stupid, crazy question. There's no fact. And it got a well-deserved answer. I've never had a situation where it's a fact that someone is selling, because that's my job. My job is to investigate.
To find out. To actually investigate. Well, Sibanda said, what now? the status of the person that Qinisalani Buthelezi says, I bought the firearm from someone in Gauteng. Mnisi objected and said Qinisalani has not come to court and said that he bought a firearm from a person. It is only a statement that is read here, purportedly from Simpiwe. It never came from him, and the judge was laughing there, And then Sibanda said, where did you get the information regarding the sale of the firearm? And Ramusipili objected and said this witness has never testified about any sale of a firearm. Those were the propositions that were read for him from the transcript of 24th of February 2024, an interaction between Mr. Mgomezulu and Gininda. That witness knows nothing about any gun running things. And then the judge said, where did you get that information? Sibanda said, I got it from the witness. The judge said, I thought so. Sibanda said it was from the witness. He said that the witness is prepared to make a statement, and the witness said he bought it in Gauteng for an amount of 1,800 rand. And the judge said, people don't listen in this court. That's the problem. And then Khumalo said he did not recall how many charges Qinisalani had relating to firearms when he profiled him. He will need to look at the profile again. And then he looked at the docket. By then, he had 5 cases, no murder. Only attempted murder.
They were here. I don't know how you're reading it, but I'm trying to grasp it the way I was getting it. But here, Sibanda, the gist of the story is that Sibanda was trying to say that by virtue of having a gun that killed, and that gun being bought from you, that you being Danzi, then by that virtue, then we are an accomplice to murder. But what he find out is that in a case that they use, which is 163, actually there is no murder.
It's only attempted murder.
So what is an accomplice to? It should be a case of 4-4. I think 442, if I'm not mistaken. 444 something. The one that has murder.
Khumalo eventually expressed that he's not trying to avoid questions or be disrespectful, but it is very, very difficult for him to comment on this because it was never brought to his attention. It is for the first time that he's hearing all of this in court. And then Sibanda said exactly the point. The point is you were not privy to the investigation that was conducted by Sergeant Mohani as well as the cold case unit, the one of murder.
Why was he not privy as the IO of this case?
And Khumalo said, correct. That's correct. And Sibanda said, I'm putting it to you that what Mohani did is the following. He got hold of the copies of the docket. He built up on what was already in the docket of Nongoma case 16310 of 2018. It cannot be correct that 16310 of 2018 as investigated by Mohani is non-existent.
It is non-existent.
Well, Khumalo said, was it murder or possession?
Exactly.
Then Sibanda said, let's leave it. We'll get to the charges. And then Khumalo said, so if he was investigating murder under the same case number, the system cannot generate 2 case numbers, different charges. The system cannot. Why am I saying this, my lord? There's a system in the police called JAX, Global Access Control System. So whenever you want to check murders at Nongoma, specifically for the month of October 2018, the system will throw all the murders that happened in Nongoma in that time period. There's no murder which bears the name or the case number 16310 of 2018. The judge looked devastated when he said
So they were investigating Emma side in Mkukwini. They even have the whole docket. That's Mkukwini.
And then Khumalo said, if my lord, we found 163 times 3, which means that in this case there are more than one charges. Like for instance, this one, there are 163. The first one is possession of unlicensed firearm. The second one is possession of unlicensed ammunition. The third, that is why on the second system, if you go further, you see that this one is the same accused, which is Qaniselan Buthelezi, who is charged. There is no murder. He said he was going to agree if they were generated manually, but now all the case numbers are generated systematically. And then Sibanda said what Mokhani had is a duplicate, not to suggest that a new case number was generated. This is even worse. How do you duplicate something and you create something new? That's no longer a duplicate. That's no longer a duplicate. It's a new case. When did we move from it being the same case to being a duplicate? When did that happen? Did Mokhani even testify to this? Why is he changing Mokhani's evidence?
If it's a duplicate, it must be the same.
Exactly the same with the charges, everything. It cannot be that it has murder and it's a
Crazy what
duplicate.
they are doing. These people is crazy. Even themselves, I'm sure, they drink vodka wherever they are. They're like, but we messed up.
Sure. Then Sibanda asked if there is another Nongoma 163 linked to a case of murder, and Khumalo said you must check if you want to link ballistically or with the DNA. It depends on which way you want to lead it. What we are having is a ballistic report linking Nongoma 410 of 12/2016 with Nongoma 163 of 10/2018. This is consolidation of the cases, meaning they have the same suspect.
I see Dido and Sizwe are arguing about the obvious part of life in South Africa. Do you think Spear is going to get arrested?
No,
No, it's a no also for me.
no, he's not gonna get arrested.
No. No. You see, the problem is, if you want to arrest Bia, then you must arrest Mkun, which is never going to happen.
Nah, never. I get lawyer enough. They've already cleared him, by the way.
So,
I know he's cleared.
so what should happen is, what is happening there in Madlanga? I see you guys are overhyping this Madlanga commission. What is happening in Madlanga is correctoral damage, where the small fishes will be banned,
Yes.
but the big fishes, they're never gonna get banned. That's the purpose of the
commission.
That's why you don't take it to court. You do it through the commission so that you clean those you wanna clean. It's like this issue of gold, you know? You are safe.
Yes.
We are safe. But what you want to save is what is left on the pot. It's exactly that. So no, there's no way Spear is going to jail. It's not gonna go to jail. In fact, it might surprise you.
Might be made the minister.
He might come back. No, he might come back and be your Joburg commissioner or national commissioner.
Nah. That's a possibility. I mean, we've seen worse in the past.
So no,
So
no, no way, no way. You don't get. You see, yeah, man, yeah, you guys make me laugh. So you think that what is happening there, you're seeing these people going and getting arrested, those small fishes, cat and whatnot.
it's for your entertainment.
It's for your
and to
entertainment, man.
distract you guys.
You're not going to get the big fishes. Kohla, ezola, kohla, kohla.
Not gonna happen.
Kohla.
Already, they're dealing with the small fish now. They are over the big fish, but again, it's a the big
It's
fish.
done.
It's done.
New Year no Christmas
Nizule no president uthi ne budget ayisekho yokuqhubeka. Iwenzile umsebenzi i-commission iwenzile umsebenzi.
Khohla.
But I did tell you guys at the beginning that commissions are a waste of time, and you guys
No
thought I was
holy
being
cows,
dramatic.
no way. Tell me how Spear is gonna be arrested. Try to narrate to me because the evidence that is being
He's
led
not gonna
there,
get arrested,
it's no
guys.
longer linking Spear. It's no longer there. It is now dealing with the issues at the ground. And how is that going to get Spear arrested?
This will all
We are
go
done.
away. You go back to work like
We're
nothing
done.
ever
You are
happened.
back to usual. I'm sorry to
Even after the elections, it's gonna be worse. Everyone will resume position.
We are done. The defense start now for Mkwana's though. This is the start of the defense.
Yeah.
He should now, from now on, it's gonna be him.
Yeah.
Beza kuye ngampela.
Yeah.
But they are coming for him, don't worry.
They are.
They are coming for him. Those are small fishes now. They're just dealing with small fishes. And then,
Arresting the ones at the bottom.
Yeah, it's like that issue of
Mass arrest
of
so
going.
that you guys get excited.
It's like that issue of saying we are cleaning the streets. We go to Sunnyside, we arrest those ones who are selling lazy locals.
Yes, fruits and veg by the side of
yeah.
the road and then make it seem like we're
don't
working.
deal with the big fishes.
Nah.
It's done, man. It's done. I'm telling you, it's done. If it hasn't happened now, it's never gonna happen.
South Africa, bruh. South Africa.
In fact,
Inche.
this is how this administration deals with things. They pretend as if they are giving you what you want,
Yeah.
and then you don't get it.
Then you forget, you lose stamina. And
Kona manje, we are playing we are shifting. We are playing a chess game.
yes.
We are moving people to acting. We are moving certain people. People who were representing this case. Some of them, they are becoming judges. We are shifting people. Very soon, those judges will be making a decision about the issues of Ipalapal.
Yeah.
And that's law as usual.
Yes.
I mean, guys, come on. You don't see the bigger picture in all this. There's always a bigger picture.
Nyamazu commissioner wamaphoyisa omusha. Acting. New national.
It's always a
Nambuka engena esikhundleni abanye bathi hayi ngathi slay queen kwathiwani kodwa ndibonile. So must we spell everything out to you?
Aye, come on, guys. Adleni nina nifuna ukuthi nisiqhathe neso. It's right kanje. We are shifting
not gonna
things.
get arrested,
We are
guys.
shifting things now. We're shifting things. Very soon, the decision is gonna be taken by the so-called constitutional what and
Yeah.
what. And then, what do you expect? What do you expect? Yeah. What do you expect? We expect to totally answer grand. One
And
judge,
asiyokhohle izoba ngathi imadlanga commission ayikazenzeke.
one judge
We're
is
going
gonna
to
come and say,
forget about it.
or find you guilty. The rest. That's how it is, man. That's how it is.
Resume your normal duties.
And then we come back, we get an announcement from a certain person who speaks like a trumpet. Our president has been cleared. It's over. That's it. Iphelile njalo indaba, iphelile nje. Akusekho okunye ke guys usawaphinda ukuzwe ke. Awusekho nje okunye usawuphinda ukuzwe. Engani phela this is South Africa this. Siyayazi nisukutshela ngento esiyaziyo thina. We know this South Africa. Njalo nje indaba ke nje akukho futhi okunye singabeka imali kongcono phansi kongcono sibe sibheje ngoba phela ngcono senza imali
Singawina yo.
singawina vele khona kodwa nje ngcono vele senza imali ngoba khohla dido khona konje sizokwenzeka kuphelile phela manje dido. It's over. What you are going to get is small fishes.
Yeah. Small fish. You guys can be happy with the small fishes. it must look like we're doing something productive.
The art of doing nothing while we was it has been mastered. We do nothing while we pretend as if we're doing something. And even those small fishes, some of them, they're still gonna know enough evidence and all that. Still coming. I mean, eventually, party. Yeah, but to keep these ones, these ones of blue color, who pretend as if they want to get people arrested.
Pretend they're ready to
those who got money. Because the blue people, they are concerned about people who receive money.
Yeah.
So the blue ones, they will be happy if they get those ones who receive tenders.
Yes.
And it ends there.
Yes.
That's where it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the pela ubheke nane affiliation. Yabo ukuthi ubani onconyo ubani. Yabo. Angithi uyambona lo wasitshela ukuthi these people are guilty. Namkhumbula? Lo bathu bani ngeke ngimusho ngegama nangu lo baba lo le advocate le represent
say no more.
Angithi uyambona. And lo baba phela lo very fond of general. Very fond of general. So you're not gonna see that thing happening. Libala nje libala.
It's over, bro.
Hayi info ngicabanga ukuthi asiyivala. Asivale ngani zakwethu siyabona ukuthi niyafona kodwa hayi sibe inde kakhulu ngani zakwethu siyobheka ko 2 hours 40 minutes. Sizodedela amakholo kusasa.
Yeah, kusasa siwadedela plus I haven't covered everything, so I'll quickly finish what I haven't covered and then you guys can call in. Or you can call in between. Asas.
Yeah, this is gonna be short. Yeah, we are ignoring your calls on purpose. The same way. Yeah, I mean, we are used to this thing of being massaged like that. Guys.
But yeah, ingakho nami ngiphumile kumadlanga commission.
Madlanga commission nje.
I'm moving on in my life.
Into nje ungayithatha serious at your own periphery.
Yeah, it was drama. We were entertained.
Drama nje. That's how we do things.
But nothing. The outcomes that are supposed to happen are never gonna happen. So just for your own peace of mind, move on.
Move on. That's why I phela ngani these ones abethandwa kangaka, because these ones when they are asked to arrest, even if you didn't do anything, just to clear the air, they do that.
They do as they are told.
They do it as they are told. They are foot soldiers. Foot soldiers. You can only get them when you change the administration.
Will help you realize what is going on and to see it for what it is and not sugarcoat it.
Foot soldiers, if you want to get them, the ones that you guys hate, the whole administration must change.
Yeah.
Then
we're talking.
Then the new cabal obviously comes with his own people, their own people. So that's when now they are toasted. But for now, they've got the very proper cushion. Can't touch them. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Forget Ribala. Emanyana. They will throw you to jail if you funu hey uzongena ukitchim. No, thank you very much, guys. All is alleged.
Everything is alleged.
Even our name. Even the name of the channel is alleged.
Everything is allegedly.
Yes, thank you very much.
Allegedly.
Siyabonga. Press the like button. Ashayo 500 phela before Spoom. Now, so then you're 6. Why not press the like button? 500. Here we come. Here we come. Laura, thank you very much, Mamfunega. Thank you, Mukonisi. Akonaho. Thank you, Siyabonga. Sizwe 18, Chiguana. Dido West. Thank you, South African soccer history. Siyabonga.
Sibanda Skatele, thank you very much. Lufate, our moderator, thank you. No Holy Cows, thank you. Njomane 88, thank you. Sizwe 18, mentioned you. Sibone. Thank you very much, all of you guys. Thank you. Press the like button. Phela Matsiris siyabonga. Mlambo Design, not goodbye. Goodbye, Mlambo Design. But skafik but 100. Kahleni guys. Sibonga futhi Matsiris with the people that you have gifted with membership. Semi.
Thank you,
Thokozi Luthuli, Cynthia Zungu. Maka Ino aphile Buyi Mnguni ubagifte kahle balandelana in that chronological order. Siyabonga nganza kwethu, siyabonga uzawushaya u500. Danko Sihametsi all the way from Botswana, wherever you are around the world, we appreciate you. Bye
Bye guys.